5 seconds to go. Start. Sir, some days ago, I had the honor of presenting to the House the report of the Planning Commission on the second 5-year plan. I presume that many members have read it since then, either fully or in parts. I have now the honor to move the following resolution. This House records its general approval of the principles, objectives, and programs of development contained in the second 5-year plan as prepared by the Planning Commission. Those honorable members who have read this report have probably not found it very light reading. A report of this type can hardly be termed light reading, although I believe there are many parts of it which are exciting reading. Few of us can say that we agree with every single word in this report and with every single proposal. A report of this type is the product of the labor of a great many persons, not only members of the Planning Commission, but a vast number of other people who have been consulted. Among them are experts of our own country and of foreign countries, and others representing various interests and professions in the country. As with all joint products, there is an attempt to meet different viewpoints. I hope this House will view the report as a whole, keeping in mind the unity of approach, objectives, methods, and principles underlying it, and not so much the details. It is open, of course, to any honorable member to criticize or to make suggestions in regard to any part of the report, whether it be principles or details. But I submit that the important thing is to get hold of the main principles. I propose, therefore, to deal with the broad principles only. The subject of this report is obviously not only of the highest importance, but something that produces in me very great excitement. It is an exciting subject because it deals with the future of 360 millions of people. To some extent, that future will affect the future of other countries and even of the rest of the world. It therefore becomes an enthralling and exciting subject. We are engaged in the shaping of the future of India. Surely there could be few subjects more exciting than this. It is therefore with a sense of the burden of history that I face this problem. It is also with a great sense of humility because, however great and however competent we may consider ourselves, we are small in relation to this mighty theme of building up our country and taking its millions of people forward during the next 5 years. These 5 years are only some kind of a period that we fix for our convenience because there are no isolated periods in the march of a nation. It is a continuous march. We must really think in terms of even longer periods and in terms of several 5 year plans. This is the second. Nobody thinks that at the end of the second plan we shall have been at the end of our journey. There is no journey's end when a nation is marching. Leaving out the ultimate ends, even such a goal as we envisage, the objective of a socialist pattern of society, is not going to be achieved at the end of the first 5 year plan or the second. It may require 3 or 4 5 year plan periods before we can say with some confidence that we have very largely achieved it. Therefore, we must keep this large perspective in view. In planning, especially, we are apt to forget the larger perspective and lose ourselves in some particular aspect which is of importance and yet which may very well come in the way of the larger perspective. For example, take the question of regional development. We are all agreed that there should be a uniform development all over India. We are all agreed that disparities, not only as between individuals in regard to income, but as between the various areas in India, should be removed, that there should be equality of growth and opportunity all over India. But if we start applying that principle regardless of the other objectives and perspectives, we may spoil the whole plan. We may not have very much to give to any region. Therefore, in looking at the 5 year plan, we have to think really of several 5 year plans. That is why it is becoming more and more important that we should, in addition to the period we are dealing with, have a longer perspective in view. The second 5 year plan necessarily deals with what might be called material objectives. They are very important because it is on the basis of certain material achievements that we can build other achievements. The plan deals to some extent, no doubt, with culture and like matters. Nevertheless, it confines itself chiefly to material advance. That does not mean that we attach no importance to other aspects. Stop.